Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Monday, so you should hopefully see this probably Wednesday by the time I finished editing. So today we're at a job, got quite a few things to do, a couple of rectifications, a couple of installations, so I'll take you through and show you what we've got going on. So first job is to mount a PIR light. So we've got my favourite brand for PIR lights is the Collingwood F2s. So that's going to be installed just up there. We'll bring that round, and we're actually going to run the feed and come down. There's an entry plate just behind the gate here. We've then got to, so if we go into the garden, one of the other things we've got to do, which at this point in time I may not film this, as it's what I've got to fit is actually not for viewing at the moment. It's a prototype from Hudson Lighting, Chris at Hudson Lighting, shout out to him, help sort this out. So as you can see, we've got white placky box. There was a building here originally, white plastic box connected to an SWA that's just been left out flapping in the wind. So we've got a proper outdoor socket to fit on that. And then if we come back to these sockets here, so sockets down the right, so grey unit, white grommet or compression gland, and no grommet, no actual compression gland in there. Twin and earth in, comes back out, follows all the way around back to here, and then runs all the way along to same scenario, white gland, no actual grommet in there. So we're going to change those out, put some white flex in for outside and get that done. All right, so yeah, it comes along there, along these beams. So we've got that to replace as well. I'll just take you inside. We got barking dogs. So just gonna tidy up these, put the cables behind the wall, and also remove the multiple extension leads and get that sorted as well. So yeah, so that's what we've got to do today. Client is I've already spoken to the client. They're going to go to work today, but they've given permission to film. Just coming back outside because it's the dogs bark a lot. So yeah, the client's given permission to film, so I'll get set up and we'll get sorted with starting with the light, and then we'll do all the outside first, then we can let the dogs out. Alright guys, so I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, so just clipping the external cable. I know I mentioned them in my last video, but I didn't really show them. So these are Linian clips. So they do different types. They're all fire rated. They do twin earth, round, and super clips, which is like for your big stuff, you know, your conduit and things like that. So they're basically that shape, and on these particular ones you drill a 6mm hole, 30mm deep, and they literally just pinch together. Okay, so I've actually already done all the holes, and I've partially mounted the cable in, so you can see. So for instance, there's one, it's not clipped in, so they're not clipped in per se, but they're literally just held in place, because trying to do it one-handed is not very good at all. So we literally go pop pop pop, done, pop 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 pop, done, and you get the point. Yeah. So they're all you just knock them in with your hammer. Then there's the Virgin Media stuff's in the way. Brilliant. There we go. Oh, it's Virgin Media. There we go. So, push. So you can see it. They just clip in nice and easy. But that is not coming anywhere. You know, that is now secure in the, you know, for premature collapse. You can use them inside on timbers, on brickwork. If you have particularly horrible render like this, where it's really hard to get a normal nail in, the linear clips are fantastic for this, because like I said, you just drill your 6mm hole and away you go. The black box is being changed for a white one. I didn't have one on the van, so I've just put one in place for now, just so I can get it all working and functional. And then, yeah, so we're going to come through down here, and our entry point is going to be in there, where we can then go to our board. There's that external feed, that external cable actually runs to the shed just in front of us, so there's a good entry point inside there. So I'm going to finish off getting the cable inside the building now. I'll get it wired up and then we'll tackle the next job. Okay guys, right, so wiring's in. Ignore this box, it is getting changed for a white one. I got it to the wholesalers. Stupidly I've put in 2.5 because I don't have any 1.5, and I also didn't have the right clips for it anyway, so 2.5 it is. Minimum obviously CSA was 1.5. So we've got ferrule ends, so any stranded cable I always ferrule and put into Wagos. It's a nice neat connection, they're not going anywhere. The 2.5mm ferrules they fit, but they're a tight squeeze, whereas the 1.5s fit into a Wago really nicely. But yeah, they're not coming off, so that's just going to sit there. It's literally just to get it up and running, and then I can change the box. The box will take, you know, 10 minutes to replace. So but the main thing is to get this light on, in and on, ready for tonight when the customer gets back, at which point I'll have that changed over anyway. So yeah, that's in. Obviously linear clips holding the cable, as you've already seen. So I'm now going to get it all connected up inside the house. But yeah, nice little neat job. And I love these Collingwood, it's the Collingwood F2 I think it is, FL01. So the FL02, I think it's the 20 watt version. These are 10 watts. Yeah, so, but yeah, good lights. These are my go-to outdoor lights with PIR. So new cable in, so we've gone for a radial. When it was in the consumer unit, they did 2 separate radials out of the one breaker, so I've just taken one feed. So that's our feed in, that's our feed back out. Ferrules on the end of the cables, always for stranded. I just think it's much better finish. We then run along, and then we're back to the socket here, so that'll be the end of our radial. Grey gland for grey boxes. Lord knows what he was thinking, whoever did this, putting white on grey, but from what I understand, it wasn't a very pricey job. So yeah, just people not taking pride in their work. So yeah, I'm going to carry on finishing this. The next part of the garden I can't film because obviously we're fitting something that's a prototype, and we can't show that. But the next stage will be in the house, where we've actually got some additional sockets to fit by the telly to remove the extension leads, and we're also putting some additional sockets in a bedroom as well. So right guys, so this is what we've got at the moment. These two are actually spurs, and this is the original, which actually goes back to the ring main. So this is a spur as well. So what we're going to have to do is we're actually going to have to convert this to a fused spur, because we need, well, they want to get rid of these, this, so we need one that's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 2 more up there. Well, we can't hide those, they're going to have to go off the extension, because the leads are too short. So that extension I'm going to tuck behind here and feed the cables behind, but they need 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5 devices I think in total. So yeah, you need to think about it a little bit, but it's definitely going to need converting to a fused connection, because it's just yeah, they've spurred off a spur off a spur. So I will I'm going to come back to that one. Let's take you upstairs, because what we're going to do now, we'll double check upstairs, but we've got a couple of sockets that we need to move. So in this room here, we've got to remove this socket because this wall is actually going to come away eventually. So we can get access to the floorboard, so we can pull that back down. And then we've got one socket going there, one socket going there. Surface trunking because the client doesn't want the floorboards back up because they've laid the laminate. They don't want us to cut into the wall unless it's absolutely necessary. So we're literally going to trunk it across the bottom, or the skirting, and then we're going to have a socket somewhere in this vicinity here, and then we'll have another one up here for the TV. And that's where we're at the moment. So right guys, mount for the socket for the TV's in, socket down below's in. A lot of wool insulation in there. It was blocking the cavity, so as I was feeding it up, it's actually dropped it down. So trunking to the new partition wall that's eventually going to house the new bathroom. Holes are cut for the sockets. The socket itself is a ring final circuit, so we're able to. So I'm going to take them through the floor, and then there'll be a maintenance free box because they're not long enough. The existing cables are not long enough to come back to the first new socket. So we'll put a maintenance free box in, and it'll be good as new. Okay guys, so we've tied up the living room cabling. So TV is mounted securely. I can't actually get to the mounts to undo it. So the power cables were already going behind this wall. So all we've done is drilled a hole in the radiator cover, fed those down, just tidied those up a bit. Sockets are now in place, all off a fused spur. So it removes the extension lead, because they had extension off extension off extension. So the power consumption actually is well below the 13 amps. We've got some half amps, some 1 amps, so nothing, it's not even going to hit 13 amps, but it's got a 13 amp fuse in there, and go from there. And that's me done in this property for now. The board is going to need changing. There's a couple of things that are an issue with it that not as part of the scopes of work, and I've rectified what I can. I found an earth fault outside, but all of their outside buildings are fed off this SWA, which is in the 45 amp breaker for the shower. Literally, whoever's done it's a real mess of a job, but there was no earth, so I've corrected that. It's actually put me a day, well, not a day, but an hour or so, 2 hours behind. So I'm here on day 2 really. So I'm going to recommend a board change, full RCBO. There is an RCD based isolator, so again, change that for just a standard isolator, and then obviously this board would be changed for a RCBO, probably something like a Hager, or probably the fuse box, to be fair, because they're decent boards. Between this being filmed and when it gets released, I've hit 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, so I'd like to say thank you to everybody who's subscribed. Those that have helped hit that milestone: Gaz from GSH, Will's Electrical Services, fantastic guys, both of them. Huge shout out to my friend Rich Heppel from Art Smart. He has been a real help getting accounts set up for the CCTV and all the cabling and stuff, so he's been a real help, and apologies I didn't shout him out last time on the video from there. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.